It was a priest who said to a friend of mine, people complain, why do I have to deal with the middleman? I want to get an annulment. I just want my divorce to be recognized by God. I don't want to have to do anything after I've done the legal thing. And he said, but those same people, if a family member is dying, I'm their first call to get in there and give last rites. And that's true. My sister died 2 years ago. And when that priest came in there to give her the last rites, it was an important moment. I was relieved he was there. That sounds crazy that I would need a man to tell me I'm good with God after having a divorce that was totally legal and finding a new man who I love and making 3 beautiful children and living in love and harmony with all of us. But we're all raised with these beliefs. It's a form of indoctrination, right? You go every Sunday and you hear the same messaging and you go to Sunday school and then you go to confirmation and CCD, all the stuff. And it's very hard to just say, well, that no longer works for me, so I reject it. It's baked in there.
Yeah, I get it. Is this the end of mainstream media? Are we seeing its demise right now?
Yes. We're living in the end times for corporate media, I guess we'll call it. They're not mainstream. Is it mainstream to go out there every day and say that guys should be allowed to punch women in the face at the Olympics and pretend they're women? That's not mainstream. You and I are the mainstream. They're not. Is it mainstream to say open the borders? I hate that term because it's a misnomer. But yes, we're living through the end times for them, which is a glorious thing. We should be celebrating that. That's one of the few great things we have to think about right now in public life. That and the Supreme Court are the 2 things I wrap myself in like a blanket when I go to bed at night.
What do you think the final nail in the coffin will be?
If Trump wins again.
That'll be the end.
Yes, because they'll do the same thing they did the first time.
When did the media turn to all the lies?
2015.
What happened?
Trump. There is such a thing as Trump derangement syndrome. He literally drove them crazy. They're just so agenda-driven. It's not great to be an ideological journalist. You're much better off if you really don't like either side and you're not in love with one or the other. All these people when Joe Biden was stepping down, I love him, I love the man. Stop that. We shouldn't love our politicians. We should be kicking the tires on our politicians. All of them. Trump too. If you're a fan at home, you're a voter, that's one thing. If you're a member of the media, that's not your job. You're not a cheerleader. They all sacrifice their objectivity to get him. And despite their personal beliefs, could never check it. It's fine to actually privately root for somebody and want this candidate to win, or that's human. But to show it, to openly try to make it happen every night on the air is something very different. And they started doing it in 2015. They declared openly that they would now no longer be objective. He's a racist, he's a sexist, he's a whatever. That's not what they were doing. They were reporting night after night that he was these terrible things, that he had said these terrible things. And they continue to do it. There was a rising conversation on the internet and elsewhere around Mother's Day by these leftists that we don't need children. More and more women are choosing not to have them. More and more women who have them regret it. And how you really might want to rethink your decision to have them at all. And you had AOC coming out there and saying it might be environmentally unsound and irresponsible. So JD Vance goes out there and says, these people are nuts. They sound like sociopaths. We should not be ruled by childless cat ladies who don't think children are worthwhile. He was making a point about they want 16-year-olds to vote. He said, if we're going to give 16-year-olds the right to vote, then we should give their parents a heavier weight to their vote. And the single people will have less of a weight. He said it was a thought experiment. It wasn't like, I have a policy proposal. Single people without children shouldn't have their vote counted as much as the married people. And he said, I understand people who want kids and can't have them. That's tragic. But I do think net it's better to have kids because I think it helps ground you and it gives you better perspective on life and your problems. And none of that is controversial. But you didn't get any of that context, the lead up. I convinced this guy named Bill Lord, who's the news director in Washington, D.C. at the ABC affiliate, to put me on the air 1 day a week on tape while I was still working at Jones Day. And I said, just let me shoot a story, put it on tape, and if you don't like it, you don't have to air it. And so he gave me 1 day a week. He did pay me a couple $100 for the 1 day. I loved it.
Really?
Loved it. It was exciting. Chasing a story and calling sources and figuring out what's true and then crafting a beautiful script. Tighter, get a better soundbite. Get a better video element, be a better sound. How are we going to open it? How do we ease them in? What's the moment where we emotionally connect with the audience? What did you make them feel? Is it balanced? Did you offer the rest of the story? Are you biased? Are you taking them too much this way? I loved all of that.
Wow.
And then instead of being like, I nailed it, you're like, I'm so much worse than I thought I was.